Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. In 2016, 19-year-old Sarah Stern was reported missing from her home in Neptune City in Monmouth County. It was a case that captured the public attention. Sarah was never found, but her murder trial has begun. Covering the story from the very beginning is Alex Napoliello, a reporter for the Star-Ledger and NJ.com. I should point out that we're recording this interview before the opening arguments started, but as you told us, it's a case that it's expected to last for weeks, a trial that's expected to last for weeks. Take us back to the beginning when you got involved with the case.
Sure. So on December 3rd, 2016, police discovered Sarah Stern's Oldsmobile abandoned atop the Route 35 bridge in Belmar. At that point, a dive team was dispatched and divers scoured the Shark River Inlet under the bridge for approximately 3 days. They didn't find anything, and at that point, the case went cold. Meanwhile, Sarah's family created a Facebook page, and her family organized a search party, and that search party went through Belmar, went through Bradley Beach, Ocean Grove, looking for anything that would turn up any clues as to where Sarah was.
And what was the break in the case? When did the police start interviewing people who were making arrests?
So police started, in the public, this was a missing persons case. At one point, the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office put out a flyer seeking information and a money reward for an arrest, any information leading to an arrest. Now, as a reporter, this piqued our interest, right? So we got on the phone, we called the prosecutor's office. They stressed to us that this was protocol. Any missing persons case, they like to put out, information and a number for people to call who have information.
You didn't buy that?
So it's not that I didn't buy that, but it definitely was, we put that in the back of our heads. We continued to report the story. We covered the search party. And then in early February, the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office announced that two of Sarah Stern's childhood friends, Liam McAtasney and Preston Taylor, were arrested and charged with first-degree murder in the disappearance of Sarah Stern.
And do you know how they traced it back to them?
So what we learned is that behind the scenes, police were questioning them, and they held true to their story that they didn't know where Sarah was. But what we later learned is that through interviewing Preston Taylor, Taylor had admitted to basically helping dispose of the body. So he turned on his friend, and he told police that Liam had strangled her at her home on December 2nd after the two had went to a nearby bank where Sarah had deposited money that she acquired from her grandmother. And then when the two returned back to Sarah's house, Liam allegedly strangled her and then took the money and then went to work.
So you have an alleged accomplice testifying against the accused murderer. What other evidence do they have?
So Preston Taylor led them to two safes. One was buried in Shark River Park in Wall Township, and the other was buried in Sandy Hook. One of those safes contained some of the money that was allegedly from the robbery, and another safe contained articles of Sarah's clothing. That's
a lot of evidence. And also you have the accused murderer himself on tape talking about the murder, right?
Yeah, so as authorities were honing in on Liam, a friend had come forward and said that he had information regarding Sarah's disappearance. And what this friend told police was that Liam had contacted him and began telling a story that sounded all too familiar to him. So police worked with this friend, and we only know him by the initials AC. And he, AC, got in a car with Liam McAtasney in Bradley Beach and supposedly records a tape of Liam talking about committing the crime.
And it's very similar. It wasn't the crime he was admitting to, but it was similar to the crime.
Yeah. Authorities have said that he's basically outlining the crime to this friend, and AC was a filmmaker, and Liam McAtasney was he wanted to be an actor, and his.
So he was pitching a movie.
And he was pitching. His attorney had said that it was just like him to make up stories because he was an actor and he wanted to act in films.
I'm getting all this out because I wanted to talk about the case that the prosecution has. They have him on tape, on audio tape, talking about a crime very similar to the one he allegedly committed. You have the accomplice that has turned on him and said, I helped dump the body. And you have physical evidence in that you have allegedly some of the money and some of the articles of clothing. That seems like an airtight case, but there's no body.
Right. The fact that there is no body raises a reasonable doubt on its own, because that's a question the jury's going to have to wrestle with. You know, if she's dead, where is her body? So that on its own is a hump that the prosecutor's office is going to have to overcome.
Have you talked to or have you heard from the accomplice or Liam, who was convicted? I mean, not convicted, charged?
No. I mean, Preston Taylor admitted in court to his role in the case, so he laid out in a public court what he did to help remove and dispose of the body. However, I've never spoken to them personally.
But you've heard them because you were telling me the story that they actually took part in a search.
Right. So this search drew hundreds of people, and two of those people, according to authorities and video evidence from a local news station, was Liam and Preston. And they participated in the search, and they even gave media interviews about the disappearance. So authorities contend this was all a ruse. This was to try to cover their tracks, to prevent authorities from ever discovering what happened to Sarah.
And that tape will be played in the trial? We
assume so, yes.
As we pointed out, the opening arguments have started, but people can read about the case in the Star-Ledger and on NJ.com under your byline.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
I appreciate you coming in.
Yep.
Alex Napoliello, NJ.com reporter, and the Newark Star-Ledger. He will be reporting on the Sarah Stern murder case over the next few weeks, and you can see his stuff again on NJ.com. We're coming right back. Still to come on Jersey Matters, free stuff in New Jersey for those affected by the government shutdown. We'll explain when Jersey Matters continues.